Ben Johnson. In George Orwell's 1984, Winston Smith worried that he might talk in his sleep and the ever-present monitoring devices would pick up whatever he says, which would result in him being sent to the dreaded Room 101. If a Scientologist talked in their sleep, saying things like, "No sir, go to hell sir," or "kiss my grit, COB," would their Scientologist spouse or bunkmate feel compelled to write a knowledge report on them? Or would a good Scientologist feel the need to confess dreams regarding the church or its upper management? As ridiculous as this all sounds, has it happened? Or if you don't know of any examples, does it sound feasible? Thank you and keep up the good fight. If a person were being a good Scientologist, then yes, they would write a knowledge report on a spouse or friend or bunkmate having dreams and saying things that are critical of Scientology, or that they might somehow be antagonistic or critical or upset, or somehow not all in favor of Scientology, or a senior person or somebody they answer to, or an executive of Scientology. You're supposed to report that stuff, and if you don't, and it comes out later that you knew about it and you didn't say anything about it, then the penalty is supposed to apply to you just as much as it's supposed to apply to the person who's in trouble. So that's a thing. And now that doesn't necessarily mean that all Scientologists are going to do that, or are going to take that as seriously as every other Scientologist. It's not a monotone of agreement on that. Some people in Scientology hate knowledge reports, don't like writing them, don't like receiving them, don't really get into that whole mindset. And other people in Scientology very seriously get into it, and there's a whole spectrum in between those two. So it really would depend on the Scientologist in question. Now, as far as could you get in trouble for dreams and stuff, or do you feel compelled to report them, you are supposed to talk about, or in your auditing, you're supposed to, if you're having critical thoughts, right, you're thinking criticisms, or you're thinking bad things about what's going on around you in the world of Scientology, that's supposed to come up in your auditing. And that is then a string that the auditor will pull on to find out what's at the other end of that you've been doing, right? It's the critical thoughts are all supposed to be a symptom of the actual problem, which is that you've been committing moral transgressions, or what are called overt acts in Scientology, bad things that you did, that you did, that you weren't supposed to do, whatever it is, that have now caused you to be, having these critical thoughts. So that's the Scientology mindset. They take it very seriously, and it is harped on over and over at all levels of Scientology, so it's not something you can forget about. And that's how they would deal with that.